You might be wondering what all that was about. Well, a few months ago, my other half bought herself some wearable tech, and I spent ages taking the mickey out of her because for me it's not something I'd find useful. The mickey taking though didn't help the envy go away, so in the end I decided I'd make my own wearable tech. Anyway, we're getting a bit behind now, so ship fit?
Yes, Michael.
Roll the titles.
My name is Jason, and my career has been spent working in large corporations and also government. Recently I've found an interest and passion in activism, politics and the media, and a new friend has persuaded me to share my thoughts on a vlog. This is my vlog. It's about my life and challenging the stories that we're given about what is going on in our world. Investigative, thoughtful, fun.
Good morning. I'm probably off to Reading soon, so I thought rather than lug kit around with me today, I'd pick up a few hard copy newspapers and see what's going on and have a flick through them while we're out and about. I've actually cheated and looked ahead because there's a few websites that publish newspaper front pages the day before they're released, so I've chosen a few topics of interest already. The first thing that's very difficult to miss is the leaking of the Labour manifesto. I'll have a brief look at that probably. The second thing that stuck out is the tragic accident at a theme park a couple of days ago. And the third thing that stuck out is the threat of water shortages over the summer. That's particularly interesting for me because I actually live next to a reservoir, so we can go out and have a little look at the water levels together. So our first stop is the paper shop to pick up the newspapers, and then we'll head off down to the reservoir. Express, Mail, Sun and Star. Express, Mail, Sun and Star. Express, Mail, Sun and Star. Wish my memory was better. So that's the papers collected. Now we're off to the lake. So this is our first view of the reservoir that is Grafham Water. Levels here are looking good so far from what I can see. Let's get down to the edge and see what's going on. This lake is absolutely stunning. It never ever fails to take my breath away when I get down here. Now, this is one of my favourite spots to come and have a little sit down, and as you can see, the water is very high. Usually there's actually a beach area here that you can sit on, and as you can see, where people sit, or where people would normally sit, is actually caked in water. Now, in fairness, I've just been chatting to a gentleman who's sitting up the way there, and he says he's just got back from Norfolk and the rivers there are drier than he's ever seen them before. So it could be that there are water shortages in some areas. The thing with Grafham Water here is the reservoir is actually filled from the River Ouse, so when they need water, they just top it up by pumping things in, and obviously the River Ouse isn't dry. Here we are, back with the papers. We've got the Daily Star, try not to get distracted by the front cover, boys and girls. Daily Express, Sun, Daily Mail. So let's look at the tragic accident that happened at Drayton Manor on Tuesday, where a young girl called Eva sadly lost her life on one of the rides there. The Sun and the Star have both covered it on the front pages in differing quantities. And then the Star actually goes into a full-page article here which talks about things a bit more. In the main, it covers the devastation for the family, and obviously that's really key at this time. Horrific thing to happen to anyone, and it has a massive impact on all those around them. So that's what the article focuses on mainly there. A little piece here notes that the park was closed as a mark of respect, but on Radio 1 this morning they said that the park was closed for ongoing investigations.
And Drayton Manor is closed again today while investigators look at how an 11-year-old girl died there.
So is the park being closed as a mark of respect spin? Or is that the real reason? Don't know. The other interesting item I noticed here was that Eva went to an Islamic school. That's called out in the detail of the text here. If this had been a terror incident, the Islam link would have been all over the front pages. But this time, because it's a horrible event and it doesn't fulfil the narrative maybe, the detail of that is buried. So that's the Daily Star. Now onto the Sun. Again, we've got a massive spread here in the Sun all about it. Now the Sun goes on to question a bit more about what actually happened with this incident. So the headline is, if bosses had listened, Eva would still be alive. It mentions other incidents that have happened and that the park was aware of the problems. The finance manager at the park said it would be impossible for the park to enforce the safety advice unless you had a member of staff in each boat. So I would say, why not have a member of staff in each boat? If it's people's lives, do it. Obviously the answer to that is it's going to be too expensive. Imagine the cost of having one member of staff full-time in every boat on this ride. The other thing that's obvious to me is that these boats could actually have seatbelts in them.
Why don't they have seatbelts? Well, could be a matter of cost again. First for installing them, and then secondly because it'll probably slow the ride down while people get belted in and belted out again when they're actually going around on the thing. So my questions really are, has Drayton Manor done enough? Have they listened to the risks that are presenting themselves and taken action? And are they avoiding future action because of cost?